record this and explain it, and I'll put it on YouTube for you guys. So the way it works, right? Here's how the financial industry kind of works, right? You can buy and sell stock, right? You buy a stock, you sell a stock, and somebody's just going to get a free win while I explain this. Go ahead, ATL. You're probably going to pick Fujin anyways. Fuck you, right? So you buy and sell stock. So what had happened is a bunch of Wall Street hedge fund manager cocksuckers, right? Bunch of fuckers. Like they shorted the Gamestop stock. So how this works, right? You can buy a stock, but you can also short sale a stock, which short selling is what many people consider to be somewhat unethical. Because when you short sale a stock, you are basically betting that the company is going to fail. So the way it works is you take out a loan. You have to have a margin account, right? You take out a loan from the bank to buy a stock at a certain price, right? Say the stock, look, we're using GameStop as the example. Say GameStop was trading at like $3 a share, right? You want to buy stock in GameStop. It's $3 a share. But GameStop is not doing good, right? Like they're almost going out of business. So a bunch of hedge fund managers are like, fuck it, we're going to short this. We're going to short them, right? Because they're going to go out of business and we're going to make fucking millions. We're going to crush it, right? So the way short selling works, again, I kind of got lost track, is you buy the stock with a loan from the bank basically at a certain price. And the idea is that when you short a stock, you are contractually obligated to buy that stock after a certain amount of time. Right? You're signing the contract saying, loan me this money to buy this stock now, and then after the contract time period is up, I will buy the stock myself. And the idea behind it, how you make money, is you buy the stock, right, at like $400, but you're using the bank's money, right? And then after a certain amount of time, the stock drops, and then your contract, right, it's time to buy it yourself. So you go and buy it at the smaller price, using the stock money that you made when you first bought it, so you end up pocketing a little bit of profit. It's kind of a long and short explanation of it. But the idea is that you are contractually obligated to buy that stock after a certain period of time. Now, what fucks people over is what they call a short squeeze, is if I short a stock, right, I buy the stock for $400 expecting it to drop, and I short it hoping to make profit. But what happens if that stock goes up? Right? If I bought it at $400 or whatever, and then it goes up to $405, well, now I lost money because I bought it cheap or I bought it cheap on the loan, and now I have to buy it more expensively. So what GameStop did, or not what GameStop, but what Reddit did, was a bunch of people on a subreddit called Wall Street Bets looked at what was going on, and they were like, oh shit, GameStop stock is shitty, but everybody's shorting it, right? All of Wall Street is shorting the shit out of it. But what if we pooled our resources, right? We pooled our resources and we raised the price, right? We buy into it. Then we raise the price. Wall Street has to contractually buy that stock at the new price. So they will lose money and we will gain money, right? And that was the whole thing, was a whole bunch of Wall Street bankers shorted GameStop, and then Reddit came in and flooded it. So the stock went from like $3 a share to like $350 a share. Now, when you're talking about hedge funds, you're talking about Wall Street, those guys don't buy a share. And if they're going to short someone, they didn't short a share, okay? Those guys bought like thousands of shares. So when you imagine a company, a Wall Street banking company, buys 500 shares of a $3 stock, or they short 500 shares of a $3 stock, imagine how fucked they are when that price goes up to 350, and now they have to buy it at that price. And whoever owns that stock gets to sell it at that price. So a bunch of poor people pooled themselves together, collectively kept buying shares of that stock, waiting for the short seller time limit to go up and fuck all those people over. So literally they made millions overnight. Like there are people on that Reddit forum saying like, yo man, I put like $50,000 in. I bought $50,000 worth of stock and now I have $11 million. Just regular ass dudes on Reddit that are like, you know, they have mad money. They throw it in there, whatever, right? It's not like big time Wall Street banks. It's regular people on Reddit. And they literally made millions off the greed of Wall Street. Here's where the problem is. So they're like, whenever something like this happens, it could cause like a huge economic collapse. So the SEC, right, the Security Exchange Commission, has like safeguards in it, and they basically stopped that stock, right? You can't buy or sell it right now, as far as I know, right? It's a safeguard in there. But Reddit moved over to like AMC and GE, like every stock. Because the thing is, it's not insider trading. This is all public knowledge. So every time they looked and saw that Wall Street was shorting the shit ton of another stock, they would just rush in and raise the price and basically fuck over Wall Street. So now Wall Street is crying to Big Daddy government, oh, capitalism fucking fucked me. Oh, we got to get rid of capitalism. It's got to go. Yeah, we got to get rid of capitalism when you rich fuckers don't make any money. But when a poor guy, right, when regular guys make a whole shit ton of money at your expense, now we got to call in the government. That's why this is so interesting to watch, is because Joe Biden is basically bought and sold by Wall Street. Like, he's a Wall Street cocksmith, right? Him and Kamala Harris. They take so much fucking lobby money from fucking Wall Street. It's not even funny, right? Joe Biden is, he comes from the wing of the Democratic Party that Hillary Clinton was a part of, right? So they're all corrupt, right? They're all paid for by Wall Street. And so that's what makes this interesting, is because Wall Street got fucked, and now they're crying to a government that generally favors them over poor people. So that's why it's scary, because it's like, oh shit, this was so cool that the poor rose up to fuck over the rich. But this is probably never going to happen again. They're going to come up with new laws because, heaven forbid, rich people lose money. If all of those people on Reddit lost their money, right? If their plan didn't work out, nobody would give a shit, right? They'd be like, well, a bunch of poor people made a risk, rolled the dice on Wall Street, and they got fucked, so fuck them. But no, because it was Wall Street that rolled the dice and got fucked. Yeah, fuck the poor people. Let's make a new law so that poor people never get rich again. That's the whole situation, and that's why it's kind of a controversy right now, is because regular guys manipulated a system that has been built to manipulate us. They fucking built this system to fuck us over, right? The government does what it can to make sure you will never be rich so they can stay rich. And we found a way to beat them at their own game. The poor people beat them at their own game, and they played by the rules. People are trying to say, oh, well, it's a pump and dump scheme. And it's like, no, it's not a pump and dump scheme, because all they were doing was looking at publicly available data, right? You can look at volume, you can look at trading, you can look at like whether or not people are shorting a stock or whatever, right? So they didn't do any pump and dump scheme, right? They just collectively said, hey, man, this is a good opportunity using publicly available knowledge. Let's all get in on it, and maybe we can make some money. And then they did, right? And it's not insider trading, because insider trading is when you use information that only someone inside would know, right? But this is all publicly known information. Even the fact people are trying to make the argument that they did insider trading because they organized this on Reddit. But Reddit is a public forum that anyone has access to. So any information on Reddit is considered public information. So if you got fucked over by people on Reddit, that's your own bad. They weren't insider trading. You could have read what they were talking about and gotten involved too, like a lot of people did. But what this did was it exposed, right? It exposed the financial industry, right? Because the robo-fucking brokers, the robo-brokers are what fucked it over. And I think that's where the real issue is. Because those hedge funds, right, I come from banking, right? They don't have financial advisors anymore. They don't have like a regular dude that sits there and says, I'm going to buy stock in Steve Madden shoes, right? They have fucking robo-brokers. They have these algorithms, these robots that sit there, and they're programmed to buy and sell at certain points. And I think that's what this screwed up, was because all these hedge funds were like, GameStop's not doing good. So program the robo-broker to buy in and short or buy shorts on fucking GameStop, right? And just leave it be, because GameStop is a done deal. And because they were hands off and they just let it happen, Reddit comes in and was like, fuck, we're going to make millions. We're going to make millions. And fucking Wall Street didn't catch it until it was too late. I'm pretty sure if there was a hedge fund manager, like a person managing these accounts, they would have caught on to what Reddit was doing, because Reddit planned this and executed it over the course of, I believe, 3 or 4 months. So it's not like this shit came out of nowhere. This shit was not a secret. It was not hidden information, and it wasn't immediate. It was public information that was shared on a public forum over the internet over the course of 4 months, right? That's gross negligence on the part of Wall Street, right? And the robo brokers. And like, I love it because, like, let's be honest, like, robo automation is going to fuck up so many industries. I get into arguments with all of my conservative friends and family because I support UBI. And they're like, oh, you're supposed to be a libertarian and you support UBI. And I'm like, yeah, because when our economy was created and like when we perfected our capitalist system, we didn't have to compete with robots that don't eat or sleep. So I support UBI, right? I support it. I'm like, that shit's coming. And it's hitting the financial sector more than anything because I've been calling it, right? Been telling all these people, I'm like, yo, dude, they're like, why don't you go back into banking? Why aren't you a banker? You're good at this. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to get replaced by a robot. If I go in, I'm going to get replaced by a robot. So hopefully this is a wake-up call to Wall Street to like maybe mellow out on the robo brokers. But I honestly doubt it because like it's too easy money, right? It's too easy money. And so anyways, that's kind of like my big and small explanation of what went down with GameStop. But yeah, anyways, yeah. What are you guys saying? Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and fuck your mom.